In the end of October of 2011, my husband injured his left shoulder at work and put him out on workman's comp. And it caused the biggest domino effect for us at that time. Workman's comp decided when we're ready to send you your money, you'll get it. We were in collections and then it got to a disconnection notice. We were ready for a divorce.
My name is Cliff, and in 2008, I was a union iron worker for local number 5. Became unemployed because the economy took a downslip, and because I just became homeless, and basically lived out of my car for a couple months before I ended up in the men's emergency shelter in Rockville.
In April 2011, I was in relationships. My partner was very violent. He was, beating me a lot. And also I have 2 children. I did not want them to be in that situation. I couldn't stay. Then I left. I went to the social services for help. They removed my children. They said they have to investigate what is going on between me and my partner.
When I was homeless and living out of my car, my family tried to help me, and the only way that that they could help me was say one of them basically just dropped me off at the men's emergency shelter, and in hindsight, that was a good thing because it basically forced me to look at myself and realize I need to do something.
When I started off at Interfaith Works, I was a vocational counselor, and Cliff was one of my first clients. And when I first met him, he was just very, very driven to get a job. This was his first time homeless. He'd been living in his car, had pretty much been a classic story of the economy taking a downturn, losing a job, and finding himself at the very end of his rope.
And what they were able to do was provide a safe place for me to live, to eat, but also the thing that helped in addition to that was they provided case management for me in order to, at the time, get food stamps and then get jobs. So I needed to take care of me, and so they helped me by making me go through this, and I'm just a better person for it.
He moved out of our agency. He was able to move and get permanent housing off of a very difficult job with a very difficult boss. At every meeting we were talking about how he just wanted to quit. He just wanted to quit. It wasn't worth it. Him being homeless was more worth it than him keeping this job.
No job, no prospect of any money, living out of a car is a very debilitating experience I wouldn't wish on anybody.
A couple months ago, I got the call that he finally got a job at Home Depot that was steady and consistent with a great boss and a better situation, and I couldn't have been more happy. I could not have been more happy. And that's why I love Interfaith Works. We don't stop when they leave our doors. They can still come back. They still have people who will support them.
I give all the kudos to her for just putting up with me, because I am a little bit hard-headed. But because of her guidance and everything, along with Miss Carolyn Johnson, who also works for Interfaith Works, I was able to get to where I am now.
There's definitely been a transformation in who Cliff is today. He's just more confident than I've ever seen him. He just exudes a more positive feeling or vibe. When you see him, you can tell he's just in a better place.
I'm looking forward to great things. I don't know what they are, but I'm looking forward to good things. Unless I slip back for whatever reason, I see that great things happening 2012 and beyond.
In the end of October of 2011, my husband injured his left shoulder at work and put him out on workman's comp. And it, long story short, caused the biggest domino effect for us at that time. Workman's comp decided to play the it's our time, not your time game. When we're ready to send you your money, you'll get it. And he finally did get his compensation for it beginning of December, to the point of where all of our November bills were red flagged waiting for us to pay them.
I mean, you've got the reality of bills piling up, a gas bill. I mean, that's a lot of concern. I mean, that's the reality, the impact of how a trickle-down effect. It could be as simple as, as that.
I had heard through the grapevine, family, friends, that the Interfaith program is more than just a clothing center. And the day me and my husband went in together, he was out for work with his workman's comp, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just ride with you." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm inside shopping, and he actually ran into Debbie, struck up a conversation, and a week later I was having a meeting to get assistance with our bills.
And I could not imagine this family being told by different resources in Montgomery County that they couldn't help.
She helped us figure out what our priority was, and at that time it was our gas bill, because we were in collections, and then it got to a disconnection notice.
Not only the emotional reward, but to know that I had the capacity in what I was trained to do, and also an innate desire to help, because that's at the end what you want to do is, in the face of adversity, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
I was able to get my bill lowered, I think it was like 20%, which isn't a lot, but it was enough to where I was able to take it to Debbie, and thankfully our gas never got cut off.
So we were so elated. That was like, one less thing to be concerned about.
How do you tell a 5-year-old they can't go to McDonald's? And he told me one day, "Mom, I have pennies." I lost it. I had enough scrounged up in my change. I took him to McDonald's. 10 years from now, he'll never realize it happened, but I will.
I met Haja in April of 2011. She entered the shelter for the first time, homeless services. She was a victim of domestic violence, and her children were put in foster care, and she was then brought to the women's shelter by herself.
I did not want to go, but I didn't have any choice. I said, okay, let me just go and see what, I can, do to get my children back. Then when I get to the women's shelter, I see people there. I'm like, no, this is not my right place to stay temporarily. I was so nervous and scared. Then I met Michelle.
I did some research, and there was a lot of resources out there that I thought she would be really good at. She started to take GED classes. She started to do family therapy with her and her youngest son. She also was willing to do whatever to get her the things that was required of her to get her children back.
Michelle is the only one who felt me and understood me and helped me out. So if I have not met her, she did a really good job, to help me succeed. She's seen a woman with caring mother who's not in drug. He's really serious, but just need to be guided. I can get it stable housing, able to take care of my children, learn more about life. I won't be again with a manipulative relationships. Without Interfaith being there, I don't think if my life was going to change.